Okay, so let's start with this one. So first of all, what is a transversal? Okay, a transversal is this blue line right here. A transversal always cuts two lines just like this. So here's a line, here's a line. The blue line is called the transversal. And when it does that, it causes 8 angles to form. And those 8 angles have special relationships. So the first relationship or vocabulary we're going to talk about is corresponding angles. Okay, corresponding angles are when they sit either on top of the lines or below. So right here, this one here, and this one here would be corresponding. They're sitting on the top of this line, and they're both sitting on the left-hand side of the transversal. Okay, so angle, we would say this angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. Okay, now there are more sets of corresponding angles. So I can say, instead of 1 and 5, I could say 2 and 6. They are both on the right-hand side of the transversal, both on the top part of the line. So those would also be corresponding angles. Okay, do you guys see any more? Taylor? Angle 3 and angle 7. So this time, they're both on the right-hand side, but they're under the line. So this would be angle 3 and angle 7. And there's one more set, Gavin. Good. Angle 4 and angle 8 would be corresponding. They're both on the left-hand side, both underneath the line. So angle 4 and angle 8. Okay? All right. What'd you say, Greg? Nothing. Okay. Next. What? Okay. All right. Alternate interior angles. Okay? Interior. What does interior mean? Inside of something. Okay? So they're going to be on the inside of these lines. So this would all represent the inside part. Okay? What does alternate mean? Opposite. Good. So you would say the opposite sides of the transversal. So like 4 and 6 would be alternate interior angles. 5 and 6 could not be one because they're not on alternate sides of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then 3 and 5. Very good. Those two would be alternate interior. Okay? So those are the first big words we have to understand. So what I want you to do is go to the next slide. I want you to practice finding those and writing them. Unfortunately, because I'm a horrible teacher, I forgot to separate these out so you could just drag them. So instead, just go through this box and name all the corresponding. Go through this and name all the alternate interior. Chase.
Angle 1 and angle 3.
Good. Angle 1 and angle 3. And I'm noticing a lot of you are not using your angle signs. You do need to use your angle signs for it to be proper. Okay, what else? Lauren.
Angle 8 and angle 6.
Good. Angle 8 and angle 6 are corresponding. Gavin. 2 and 4. All right, and we should have one more set, Eva.
Angle 5 and angle 7.
Good. Angle 5 and angle 7. All right. Alternate interior angles. Malia.
Angle 2 and 6.
Good. Angle 2 and 6. They are on the inside of the lines on alternate sides. So angle 2, angle 6. Sam.
Angle 3 and angle 7.
Very good. And angle 3 and angle 7. And then we've got all of them. Okay, questions on that? All right, so we're going to skip the next slide because you could do that. You should be able to do that one. All right, so let's move on. So the next part of this is understanding that more specifically than just having a transversal and 2 random lines, we can have a transversal in a set of parallel lines. Okay, so parallel lines mean that obviously they never touch, and sometimes they're going to color in a little triangle like that to represent parallel. Sometimes you'll see them make a little mark like that. All of that would mean parallel. Sometimes they'll just say in the words, these are parallel. So you have to look for that. Okay, when they're parallel, it means that not only do they have that special relationship we just talked about, but those angles will also be congruent. So if I take angle 1, and this will not be perfect, so you kind of have to pretend, and I slide it here, pretend that that's perfect, then when I find it's corresponding with 5, it's going to be the same angle measure. Okay? Same thing if I pick up angle 2. Angle 2 corresponds with 6, so those two will be congruent. And congruent is how we say in geometry that things are equal. Okay? So when I write congruent, okay, the symbol for congruent is an equal sign with a little sign above it like that. And that's what congruent means or looks like. Okay? All right, we have already done corresponding angles because that's what we just talked about. So we're not going to do that one again. And we have already talked about alternate interiors. So we're not going to do that one again. So the two I'm going to add on this slide are vertical angles, which we have done before. What's a vertical angle? James.
Where is the opposite?
Okay, could you give me an example?
Like 2 and 3.
Like 2 and 3. 2 and 3 would be vertical angles. They are vertical from each other. Okay? So the way we're going to write that is that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. And that's the proper way to write it. Okay, what's another set? Rachel.
6 and 7.
Good, 6 and 7. Angle 6 is congruent to angle 7. Okay, there are more sets. What are more sets? Greg.
5 and 8.
Angle 5 is congruent to angle 8. Very good, and we should have one last set, Taylor.
1 and 4.
Good, angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. Okay, all right, now I want you to think about when I talked about alternate interior angles, because now I'm going to talk about alternate exterior. What do you think would be an alternate exterior angle? Chase.
The ones that are on opposite sides on the outside, so like 8 and 1.
Very good. 8 and 1 would be congruent. They're on opposite sides of the transversal. They're on the outsides of these parallel lines. So angle 8 is congruent to angle 1. What is another set of alternate exterior, Sam?
Angle 2 and angle 7.
Very good. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 7. All right, questions on that? All right. So, next part of this is, can you figure out what the missing angle measures are? That's what this is getting to. And it also wants you to justify your reasoning. So, this asks, what is the measure of angle 2? And you also have to be able to use the vocabulary that tells how you know what the measure of angle 2 is. Ashton.
The measure of angle 2 is, like, we have to say the number.
Mhm.
The angle measure of angle 2 is 60 degrees.
And how do you know that?
Because 60 degrees is right there, yeah. And let's just say that angle is 3, and then that transfers over to the angle
Oh, you're missing your. I
The vertical
totally
angle.
agree.
the vertical angle.
Not vertical. No, Malia? They will be congruent, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Greg?
Corresponding.
Corresponding. This angle corresponds with this angle, which is why the measure of angle 2 is 60. Okay? So, we say measure, we put an M for measure of angle 2 equals 60 degrees. And our justifying is because they are corresponding angles.
I have another way to say it.
All right, what is your way to say it?
You could say that the 60-degree one is alternate exterior with.
See, that's the problem with we don't have a name there. So I totally agree that you can do that, and that's exactly what you're going to do in geometry is write proofs based on that. But in order to prove it, we need to name that angle. That would be the only thing. And then what would be the last step then? You could say it
You
is.
could say it's the vertical angle with number 2.
Exactly. That's the next step. Very good. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so tell me on this one, what is the measure of angle 1? And you have to be able to justify your reasoning. James.
Angle 1 is 80 because it is a corresponding angle.
Angle 1's not 80. Sorry. Hayden.
Angle 1 is 100 because it is vertical with
Not vertical. Nope.
corresponding.
Nope. Gavin.
Alternate interior.
They're alternate interior. Lauren. Ooh, she had it. Okay. See, here's your inside. So they're on the inside, and they're on alternate sides of the line. So this would be, we're going to abbreviate, alternate interior. Okay. What about angle 2? What would you say about angle 2? Sam?
80 because since we know that angle 1 is 100 and it's on a parallel line, then that means it's going to make a 100.
It's on a straight line, on a line.
Well, yeah, on a straight line.
What about using the vocabulary we learned today? Even though I totally agree with you. Oh, you don't know. Malia? They would be corresponding. So the measure of angle 2 is 80 because they are corresponding. Corresponding with what? What did you say, Anna? 2 and 80 are corresponding angles.
But what's the angle measure?
Measure of angle 2 is 80.
What? No. What would the angle name for 80 be?
You don't have an angle name for that one. You're just saying the measure of angle 2 is 80 because those two angles are corresponding. Those are the two you're looking at. Yes, Greg?
I do the next one.
Was I going to do the next one? I was actually going to skip this one, but if Gray's really excited about it.
Nope, skip it.
Okay. All right. So I was going to look at some of these that get a little bit harder. Whoa. All right. Easy, some of you say. Okay. So this one says, name a pair of corresponding angles. First of all, I don't know if I left it off this picture, but we probably need to draw in that this line here is parallel with this line here. Okay, and also this line here is going to be parallel with this line. If we don't know that, we technically can't answer this question. Okay, so let's see. Name a pair of corresponding angles. Here's the strategy I use when I do this. This helps me. I need to draw it in like a color so I can see it. So usually what I do is I come up here and I say like, okay, I'm going to work with this line and this line. Oh, that was really bad. This line. And I'm going to make this my transversal. And then I'll look at it with just those and say, can I see any corresponding angles based on that? I see one set. Gray?
1 and 4.
Okay, not 1 and 4.
2 and 5.
2 and 5. And let me tell you, Gray, why it's not that. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. 1 right here would have to match 4 and 9 together. Does that make sense? Because it's been split. So, I mean, if I wanted to get really technical, I could say angle 1 is the same as angle 4 plus 9. And then that would work. Okay, all right, so that's the only one I see going that way. So let's erase this line and see if I see any corresponding going this way. Do we see any there?
7 and 6.
Good, 7 and 6 would be corresponding.
Well, doesn't it say you only have to name a pair? Like you only have to name one.
I did name pair. There's a pair, there's a pair.
But
Booyah.
but
No,
it
hey,
says she doesn't.
hey.
But couldn't you just do one pair?
Yeah, but we probably need to practice more so that we can see
Okay, I
them.
thought you said.
Okay. All right, so we're still looking for corresponding. So let's go a different direction now. Wait, did I go all the, did I get them all?
No, you have to do.
Which one did I forget? I did this one, right?
No, you did not.
It did not? Oh, this one?
Yeah, you did the other one.
We did, okay. Do we see any there? 1 and 4.
Where's the 4?
No, we're only using this line, and this line. I don't see any. 1 would go here, 2 would go here. I don't see any on that one. All right, so let's try this one, and this one. Do we see any of them there?
No.
6 and 5, that's on the opposite side. What type of angle would 6 and 5 be?
Interior.
Good, alternate interior. So let's go ahead and do that one. So angle 6 would be congruent with angle 5. Very good. Okay, all right, let's see if we can find some more. Should we look for some more alternate interior
Exterior.
or exterior?
Exterior.
Exterior. Okay. Where do you think you see one? 7 and 5. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. 7 and 2.
No, I'm not sure I'm seeing 7 and 5. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so 7 sits on this one. 5 sits on this one. Where would I draw in my transversal? Here?
Yes.
Okay, so this would be this one, right? That's 9 and 5 together. This would be, that would be inside anyway. I'm trying to see what you were thinking.
What did these sides look like?
What?
I like this.
This one? These?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one and this one, Greg?
Yeah.
All right. Now what do you want me to do? What's transversal?
The one in the middle.
The one in the middle? This one?
Didn't want to be 7 and 5.
Oh, that might work. Hold on. Here is 5. Here is 5. Here is